I don't know how it got this bad. I mean, at the beginning, everything felt so exciting, different. I'm 19 and he's in his 40s, the age gap.
I didn't think much of it at first. Maybe I was even flattered. I thought it meant I was more mature, more capable than other girls my age. He had this confidence, this presence that drew me in. He seemed like someone who knew what he wanted, someone who could take care of things. But now, I'm starting to realize it's not about confidence, it's control. And it's starting to scare me. It didn't happen all at once. It started with little things. At first, he'd joke about how I didn't talk about adult stuff enough.
I didn't really understand what he meant by that. I mean, what's adult stuff anyway?
I'm 19, I talk about the things
I like collecting figures from a show.
I've loved for years.
I enjoy it.
It makes me happy. But he'd roll his eyes or sigh whenever I brought it up. Then he started saying things like, "You're so childish," or "I need to grow you up."
At first I laughed it off, but the way he said it made me feel
Small, like I wasn't enough for him.
like I had to change who I was just to keep up with him.
And the more he said it, the more it got under my skin. Then came the yelling.
I didn't see it coming, honestly.
He'd get mad over the smallest things. I'd say something he didn't like. Or I wouldn't do something exactly how he wanted and he'd blow up. His voice would get so loud and his face would twist with this anger that felt
Intense. I tried to explain myself, try to calm him down, but it never worked.
He'd yell until I felt like I was shrinking, like I didn't have a voice anymore. And when he was done, he'd act like nothing happened. But for me, the shouting echoed in my head long after it was over. I tried to be more grown up, whatever that meant. I tried to talk about things I thought he'd want to hear, but it never seemed to be enough.
Nothing was ever enough.
If I mentioned a guy friend, even just casually, his mood would change instantly. His paranoia would kick in. He'd ask, "Who is he?"
How do I know you're not messing around with him?
If I didn't call him before bed, it was the same thing.
How do I know what you're really doing?
He'd ask, like I was lying to him all the time. And no matter how many times I explained or reassured him, it never seemed to get through. He just didn't trust me.
And that constant suspicion, it's suffocating.
Then there's the pressure to have kids.
That's been one of the hardest things to deal with.
I mean, I'm still in school,
I'm not ready for that. I can barely take care of myself some days.
but he's already decided that as soon as I finish school, we're going to start trying for a baby. It's like he's mapped out my life without even asking me what I want. I've told him I'm not ready, that I want to go further with my education, maybe travel, figure out who I am, but he doesn't listen. He just brushes it off like what I want doesn't matter.
And the more he pushes, the more trapped I feel.
There's something else too. He talks about his guns a lot.
At first, I didn't think much of it.
He's into hunting and stuff like that. But lately, the way he talks about them makes me uneasy.
He'll bring them up out of nowhere, like in the middle of an argument, and it feels like, I don't know.
A warning, maybe? Like he's trying to remind me that he has control, that he's the one with the power.
I don't think he'd ever actually do anything.
But the fact that the thought even crosses my mind, that's what scares me. The idea that I could even be thinking about something like that, it's terrifying. I've started to suspect he might be cheating on me. It's just this gut feeling I can't shake. The way we met is part of it. His ex supposedly wanted a threesome, and that's how he found me.
At the time, I believed him.
But now I'm not so sure. The way he talks about her, the way he's always so paranoid about what I'm doing, it doesn't add up. And the more I think about it, the more it seems like he's projecting his own guilt onto me. Like maybe he's the one who's been unfaithful all along.
And that's why he's always so suspicious of me.
But I haven't found any proof. Just this sinking feeling in my gut that won't go away. The worst part is the sex. It started out fine, I guess. But now it's different. He won't use lube, even though I've told him it hurts. Every time we have sex, it's painful, and I just want it to stop. But he doesn't seem to care. He pushes and pushes until I can't take it anymore, and sometimes I cry.
I don't want to cry. I don't want him to see how much it's hurting me.
But sometimes I can't hold it back.
And even then, even when I'm in tears,
he doesn't stop until I physically push him off.
Afterward, he acts like nothing happened. He'll even ask for sex again in the morning.
As if the pain I went through the night before didn't matter. It's gotten to the point where I don't want sex at all.
I flinch when he touches me. Every time he comes near me, I brace myself for the pain, for the tears.
And the worst part is,
I feel like it's my fault. Like maybe I'm the one who's broken, who can't give him what he wants.
I've started doing oral just to avoid the pain, but even that's not enough for him.
Nothing is ever enough for him. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm losing myself.
I went into this relationship thinking it would be fun, that I'd get to experience something new and exciting, but now I feel like I'm in over my head.
I feel trapped, scared, alone.
Every day I'm walking on eggshells,
Trying to avoid his temper, trying to figure out what he wants from me.
but that no matter how hard I try, it's never enough. And I don't know how much longer I can keep living like this. I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending that everything's okay when, deep down, I know it's not.
I shall see you. Here,